Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to take a look at a bit of an update about Shining Treasures EX. This is a set, of course, which is coming out in Japan. Looks awesome. Just a couple days ago, actually, I went through and I showed you everything we know so far. And we talked about the fact that there are going to be, well, seemingly around 130 regular shinies, which is kind of silly. We know that from, well, looking at Meowscarada, which is likely to be one of the first of the shiny EXs. And obviously you get the regular shinies, then the shiny EXs come in. And we know from looking at Charizard, which is going to be one of the last shiny EXs before we get to the supporters and the gold cards, which we assume are coming. It's not official, but there always are. We know there's going to be like 150 secret rares in total. It's going to be quite a lot. It's going to be a very big set. Well, they've gone and revealed a whole bunch of new stuff today that's gotten me very excited. There are some brand new, never-before-seen cards that, and we know that Shiny Treasures EX is largely going to be a reprint set. We know that because Shiny Star V was largely a reprint set, and VMAX Climax was largely a reprint set. But I did tell you that there were going to be some new cards in the set, some brand new, never-before-seen cards. And that's what's happening here. We've got some brand new, never-before-seen, mechanically unique, as I like to say, cards to have a look at today. But no new shiny cards. No new shiny Pokemon have been revealed, which seems weird. Like, I've already told you there's going to be about 130 regular shiny Pokemon. There's going to be 150 in total, probably somewhere around 25-ish shiny EXs. It seems weird to me that with that many to pull from, and we know that looking at numbers, with that many to pull from, it seems weird here that they wouldn't just chuck out a couple when doing this reveal. Like, why not? Why not just throw us a couple? Throw us a bone. Tell us something. This makes me a little bit sad. But let's start off with something that doesn't make me a little bit sad. A brand new supporter card. Now, I'll be honest with you, I did translate this one myself. It took a little while. This is a very awkward card, but we did get there in the end. It is Paldea Students. Yay! And there actually are two different illustrations. Now, clearly, one of them is from Scarlet and one of them is from Violet. One of them is by Nintendo, which is awesome, and one of them is by Naoki Saito, who is one of the most popular artists in the Pokemon TCG. So, yeah, this is kind of awesome. Of course, look, it's going to be pretty easy to pull, right? It's not going to be a particularly hard to find card, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But what we've got here is a supporter card that reads, search your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box and put it into your hand. Honestly, that's pretty bad. I wouldn't play it for that really at all under any circumstances. You may search one more Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box for each other Paldea Students card in your discard pile. Oh. Yeah, no, that becomes a whole lot better. At that point, it becomes a lot better. If I'm searching my deck for 4 Pokemon, yes. Absolutely yes. I love this. I absolutely love this. When you've got a bunch in your discard pile. And that's the big thing about this supporter card, right? It's good. There's no argument about it being good. When you've got 3 of the others in your discard pile. Then you're searching for any ball Pokemon that don't have a rule box. But then you can go and be searching out things that draw. Things like your Bibarel, for instance. This would be a great thing to go there. Your basics, your evolutions, anything along those lines. You are going to be good to go. When you've got 3 of these in your discard pile, and I keep saying that because unfortunately it is one of the most important things about this card. In the early game, like you get this turn 1, and you're searching for 1 Pokemon. And really what you want to be doing is searching for basics, and at that point something like Battle VIP Pass, which is an item card, not a supporter, is just a way better card. Like this is a garbage version of Battle VIP past turn 1. Now, to be fair, it does go into your hand rather than straight onto your bench, like Battle VIP pass does, but no. But after a couple of turns, when you got 3 in your discard pile, yeah, this becomes awesome. But the problem is, this really maxes out and becomes great when you've got 4 of them in your deck. But if you've got 4 of them in your deck, you're increasing the chance quite highly of actually starting with it. And then we end up in a little bit of trouble. Sorry, I wish I could give you a better answer here, but that's where we are. It is a really, really, really good card, but it doesn't kick in for a couple of turns, and that makes it a liability in the first couple of turns, and round we go. I'm giving it 3 Wassies because I still think it's a decent card. I still think there's some potential here. But I'm worried about the fact that it's a liability for the first couple of turns before it gets rolling, and yeah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one that we shouldn't get excited about, but we do need to potentially get a little bit excited about, is this new Frigibax. My daughter saw this card, she's 5, and she went, I could copy that. She looked at this Pokemon and went, I can draw this card. And yeah, I think she probably can. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue this is some kind of amazing game-breaking card. I'm not. Because it's not. What I am going to sit here and argue is, it is the best Frigibax we've got, and Baxcalibur sees a bunch of play right now, and if you're playing Baxcalibur, this should just go in as your straightaway best Frigibax. I feel pretty strongly about that. If I'm playing Baxcalibur, this is my Frigibax of choice. So that's kind of cool, honestly. This makes me very happy. Of course, the 2 we've got previously were the 2 from Paldea Evolved, one of which has 60 HP and 2 energy 30, which is terrible, and one of which has 70 HP and single energy 10. And as much as I like a good single energy 10, this has got single energy draw a card. And that makes it better, frankly. Because drawing a card can get you that rare candy you need to get your turn 2 Baxcalibur, or the Baxcalibur you need, or some other card. And yeah, absolutely that 10 damage can be relevant as you go through the game. Of course it can, but if I'm going second, and I can't evolve yet, but I can attack, and I've got nothing better, drawing an extra card could be handy. I'm not arguing this as some kind of game-breaking card, it's not. But it is the best evolving basic for a Stage 2 that sees a bunch of play, and so we need to worry about it. While we're here, we've also got a new Vroom, which lets you search for 2 basic energy, put them into your hand, from your discard pile, which seems weird, because you're only ever going to do this in an emergency in the early game where you're probably not going to have your discard pile all built up. So, yeah. Plus, we do have a 70 HP Vroom from Obsidian Flames, and an 80 HP Vroom from Scarlet and Violet. So, yeah. We've also got the one from Obsidian Flames that has an artwork rare that lets you draw a card. And only has 60 HP, but still. This might be the worst Vroom, frankly, that we've actually seen. So, yeah, this is not one to get excited about. We do have the Revavroom with the really nice ability, Rambling Engine. Lets you discard an energy card from your hand and draw until you've got 6 cards in your hand, which is actually not too bad, frankly. But yeah, I'm showing this to you because I showed you the new Frigibax, and it seems weird to not show you the new Vroom at the same time. But I really do need it on the record that as much as I think the new Frigibax is awesome and I kind of like it, I think the new Vroom is kind of garbage. You know what's not kind of garbage? The new TM. Of course, we got some TMs in Paradox Rift, and we were worried a little bit whether they would be coming back. They are. We've got a new one, and this one is awesome. Crisis Strike. Now, remember the TMs go onto your Pokemon and gives you a new attack to use, but they fall off at the end of the turn. And this is one you can only use if your opponent has exactly 1 prize left. But for free energy, you do 280. And that's kind of ridiculous. Because the thing is, we've got stuff like the previously mentioned Baxcalibur that can attach free energy super easily and use this. Or Gardevoir EX, which can attach free energy super easily and use this. But then we've got the question of stuff like Cramorant, and Radiant Charizard, and Drapion. And what do all of those Pokemon have in common? They can all reduce attack cost. Cramorant, if you've got 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost. Charizard, this Pokemon's attacks cost 1 colorless energy less for each prize card your opponent has taken. Well, if they've got 1 prize remaining, they must have taken 3. And Drapion V, this Pokemon's attack costs 1 colorless energy less for each of your opponent's Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. All 3 of these do also see quite a significant amount of play right now. And we have a ruling from the Compendium about Earth and Seal Stone that says any effect that alters the cost of a Pokemon's attacks is intended to alter the cost of any attack that Pokemon uses, not just the ones printed on the card. Now, remember, at the moment we're going along with unofficial translations by myself and the lovely Antoine Boulet, and we've not had official rulings, etc. But it seems to me that this should work, because Earth and Seal Stone is a tool that gives an attack and is reduced by stuff like this. They were specifically referring to Galarian Moltres V, incidentally, but there's no reason it wouldn't work here with these other Pokemon as well. And as always, correct me in the comment section if you think I'm missing something here, but this seems to be that it would work here. That ruling seems pretty gosh darn relevant. So, maybe I'm wrong, honestly. And this is all unofficial until we get official translations and official rulings, as always. And I cannot stress that enough. We need the confirmation. But if these kind of abilities would reduce the attack cost of Earth and Seal Stone, because it's an attack they can use, not just an attack printed on the card, then it seems like some of these other Pokemon will as well. If it does work like that, this is a flat-out 5 Wossie card. A potential 0 energy attack in a lot of decks that does 280 if your opponent's got 1 prize remaining. Oh, yes. And bearing in mind, what you can do is combine this with something like an Iono. And, you know, if you've got to take, say, 3 KOs in order to win the game, play Iono, put your opponent down to a 1-card hand, and just sit there whacking for 280 a turn. Tell me that doesn't sound like fun, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me that doesn't sound like fun. I'm still weirded out they chose to reveal these brand new mechanically unique cards, of which there's not going to be many in the set, but didn't go and reveal any of the shiny Pokemon, of which there are going to be many. That seems weird, but right now, I want to hear from you guys. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Matt DS, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourself till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.